Hey everyone, Corey from CJ's Off-Road here, and today we're going to be showing you how to install the Pro Yellow Fog Pocket Light Kit from Diode Dynamics for your 21 and up Ford Bronco with the steel bumper. So if you're looking to upgrade your fog lights or add some more lighting for off-roading, I really think the Diode Dynamics Fog Pocket Light Kit is going to be the best solution for you. This kit's going to include a total of 2 SS3 lights and a total of 4 SS2 lights, and this kit will include 3 modes, one being your road legal fog light, second one being your off-road light, and then the third one being your ambient amber backlighting. Even though you have all of these lighting options, they'd make it very easy to be able to switch between them. So if your Bronco has the factory auxiliary switches, it includes a wiring harness to be able to hook right up to them. But if your Bronco doesn't have the factory auxiliary switches, or if you don't want to use them, they also provide a harness in the kit that has a switch on the end, so you're able to cycle through the lighting modes. Not only do they provide the wiring harness in the kit to make everything easy, they also include the bumper brackets to be able to install all the SS2 and SS3 lights to the Bronco easily as well. Keep in mind when you are ordering this kit, you do have 2 different options. One being the yellow fog light like we have here today, but they also do have a white fog light as well. Now, if you are interested in this kit, definitely check out cjponyparts.com to get your own, but let's jump into the install. Before we jump into today's install, if you have any questions about the tools that we're using, check out cjponyparts.com/tools or click the link in the corner of the video for a free video and PDF file showing you what tools you should have and how to use them properly and safely. To start this install off, we're going to grab our SS2s and then the brackets that come in the kit. We're going to get all those installed to the actual SS2s, grab the SS3s, do the same, and then bolt them up to the Bronco. So, put the bracket on the top side of the light here. Grab our bolt that came with the kit. Slide it through. And then we'll loosely install these, that way we can adjust them later on. Alright, so same process for the first light, and then we'll repeat these for all the SS2s. Alright, now that we have the SS2s done and out of the way, I went ahead and grabbed my SS3 in the hardware. We're also going to bolt a bracket to this, so we're going to drop the nuts down in these holes here. That one doesn't fit. And our bracket and bolt and washer. And again, same as SS2, I am going to leave this bracket a little loose, that way we can adjust them later. Alright, one down, and now we just got to repeat the process on the other one. Moving on to the next part of this installation, we're actually going to head back over to the Bronco and remove the 3 factory bolts from the front bumper. Now after you remove those 3 factory bolts, you're going to go ahead and grab your bracket. The bracket with the L on it is going to go to the driver's side, and it's going to sit in here like this, and then you're going to use the 3 factory bolts you just removed. After you install the bracket to the bumper, go ahead and grab your SS3 and 2 of your SS2s, and then the hardware to be able to mount them to the bracket. So after you install the bracket to the bumper and then the lights to the bracket loosely, it's now time to go ahead and start wiring everything. So what you're gonna do is just go ahead and throw this harness in here and start routing it correctly. All right, so now that we got the harness routed the way that we would like it to go, it's going down to the fog lights, it's time to really start actually wiring. So what we're gonna do is, since we're using the auxiliary switches, is we're actually gonna snip this connector off and then hook up the wires to the factory Bronco harness to be able to go to the switches then. So just lob this guy off here. Now the red wire we will not be using, but our yellow is our off-road lights. So we're gonna go ahead and strip that back. And then our blue wire will be for our ambient amber backlights. So strip that one back as well, because we'll be using it. Now our customer wants us to hook up the off-road lights to auxiliary switch 4. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is grab the brown wire on the factory harness because that goes to switch 4. So we're gonna snip back the brown factory wire. And trim the end off. And now we'll grab some butt connectors here and attach it to the Diode Dynamics harness. So you got the first part of the wiring out of the way, but there is another part. Now this harness is mainly going to be used for the fog light function of these new lights. A lot of people end up wiring these in so they turn on like factory with the actual headlight switch. Now we're not going to be doing that. Our customer wants to end up wiring these to one of the auxiliary switches, but if you were to end up wiring it to the headlight switch, it's going to have a part on the harness here that what you'll end up doing is putting a T-clamp on the factory wiring headlight harness and then connecting this to it. So that way everything powers on when you turn the switch on. But like I said, we're going to wire these up to the auxiliary switch. All right, so now that you have all of your new connections made, it's now time to hook up the power and the ground, which we're gonna simply do by just going to the battery. All right, so now we have officially everything wired up. So we're gonna go ahead and actually connect the fog lights. So pretty simple, they have a jumper harness here and they actually label which one's going to be the fog light. So head behind here, plug them in accordingly. Now on the back side of that splitter connector, we're gonna go ahead and grab the wires that we routed down, and they make it simple. So one's a 4-prong, the other's a 2-prong, so you can't mess it up. One there and one there. As you can see, my lights are all over the place. I have them very loosely installed right now, so that way when I'm done, I'll go back through and make the adjustments that I needed, And that's the same with the wiring. I have wiring all over the place right now, but once I'm done, I know everything is working, we'll go back through and move them out of the way of any hot or moving parts. So now that we got the lights installed and wired up, it's time for the best part in my opinion, which is testing them out. So we have the first feature here, which is going to be our off-road lights. And then our second feature, which is just our yellow fogs. And then the third one, which is our ambient amber backlight. Now that we got everything mounted up and wired up on the driver's side, we can go ahead and repeat the same process on the passenger side. As you can see, installing the Diode Dynamic Fog Pocket Light Kit is definitely one way to increase the visibility on your Ford Bronco, and it's not too bad of an install. It's time to drop a gear and disappear, but don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, check out cjponyparts.com for all your Bronco part needs.